So, welcome to another podcast episode in the Science and Spirituality podcast. Today, we have my good friend, Lorin Krenn. How do you pronounce your last name? Krenn?
Krenn, just
Krenn.
Krenn, yeah,
With
exactly.
the rolling of the R. Yeah, I knew it because you're from Austria, right? You're born
Yeah,
and raised in
exactly,
Austria?
from Austria, yeah, born in
Awesome.
Vienna.
Yeah, and it's amazing. We got connected on Instagram years ago, and
Yeah,
we've just resonated so deeply. We've stayed connected, and now I'm so thrilled to bring him on the podcast because we're going to talk about something that I am just diving into myself, and I know that you listening will be benefited by this because I believe we all can use this information of the difference between masculine and feminine energy, how to use those in our lives, because some of the things that I know is that we all have different levels of masculine and feminine energy, but we all have both in our bodies
yeah,
and in our minds. So it's how we can use them to benefit our lives. So if you're like, I know there's more deeper essences of a person. Like for me and you, Lorin, like we're masculine, like our core essence is masculine. And then for most
absolutely.
women, their core essence is feminine, but it shifts and changes and there's different combinations and different people in the world. So, I want to set the stage with that, when we talk about this, and maybe we'll clarify that when we do talk about the different types, is that if we talk about, say, like a feminine essence, we're not just talking about a woman. It's
Absolutely.
it's universal, and it's just how it
Yeah.
expresses. So I'm so looking forward to diving into this. So Lorin, welcome to the podcast. I'm so thrilled to
Thank
be
you.
with you here today.
Thank you. I love what you mentioned here because people have reached out to me and also clients actually have told me,
Mm,
but how can I be, for example, a conscious man? I have to be so many things at the same time.
yeah.
But this whole work between masculine and feminine energies, like you mentioned beautifully before, is not about to put people into a box.
Yep.
That's how the mind wants to see it. It's about becoming aware of these deeper dynamics which are happening
Mm,
and then choosing consciously and just
yeah.
understanding this on a deeper level. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. And so I want to begin because you mentioned like when you work with clients, and I really want to begin there because for everyone listening, Lorin is one of the most profound teachers I have ever met just in general. Like, I mean, his writing, his poetry is just so beautiful and expresses just deep truth. And I know that you've been stepping into this role as a teacher and a guide and a coach for people in this realm of masculine and feminine energy. So I'm here to learn from you. I'm here to hear what's going on for you and your clients. So tell me, what is the foundation? Like when it comes to masculine and feminine energy and working with your clients, what's the foundation? What do you begin with?
First of all, what mostly happens, I specialize really in men's coaching. I only take men clients
Mm-hmm.
because the thing is, maybe I have to go a little bit back here. I experienced a deep father's wound. I lost my father very early in my life. And I experienced this immense emptiness, unworthiness, even to a place where I developed obsessive thought patterns where I really wasn't able to be my mind. So I experienced this typical man totally lost on the path, sleeping with countless of women,
Mm,
not being able to see what's going on anymore, not having a clear focus and a purpose.
mm,
So, and as Rumi says, um, the wound is where the light enters. And this is exactly what happened in my life, is that my wound became exactly the gift I want to share with the world, because I know how it actually feels for men to, and we can go a little bit deeper here, to actually feel worthless the moment they meet a woman, to
mm,
feel like their existence is worthless, to not be able to receive love because deep down they think they're just not worthy of that.
mm,
So the whole foundation, I would say, is there. It's
mhm,
this deep longing. There is this deep longing for mentors,
mhm,
especially for men. Men need other men,
mhm.
elderly men, and our society is absolutely missing that.
Yeah.
So back in the days, in the ancient tribes, I don't know if you've heard of that, but the boy was ripped away from the mother at the age of 12, 13, 14, and had to go through a deep, profound, even sometimes brutal initiation.
Mm,
And I'm not saying that we have to do a brutal
yeah.
initiation, but what the key about that is, I'm not saying we have to go back to the old times, but we are not experiencing any transition, any bridge as young boys into a more grounded, into our raw and mature masculine power.
Mm.
And that's why so many men are looking for mentors, are
Mm-hmm.
losing themselves in porn addictions, are losing themselves in drugs, are not feeling worthy deep within.
Mm-hmm.
It's because deep down they're just looking for affection, but not from the mother. They're looking for affection from a father figure,
Mm.
from a masculine mentor who gives them the tools in order to learn to not feel this unworthiness, in
Mm.
order to be a man of purpose. You
Yeah.
know all about purpose, and a man without a purpose is like a sinking ship.
Yep.
It just is as black and white as that.
Yeah.
So I've given here a kind of broad answer,
Sure.
but that would be the foundation of
No,
this work.
that's good. And I'm glad you clarified that because, going into this podcast, like I had in my mind, like, okay, masculine, feminine energy, but I love this, that it's more specific, of course, because this is your expertise. This is what you do for a living. You coach your clients, and it also comes from a deep, deep story in your own life. So
Yes,
I find that just fascinating. And I really believe that our life work does come, at least we get glimpses of what our life work is from experiences we've had in the past and how we want to help people to overcome those challenges that we've had. So that's beautiful. So,
absolutely.
so tell me, like, so in terms of like, so again, working with men, what is the first step for you and them to go through? Like, I know there may be different starting points for different men and the different experiences they've had and the healing work they might have to do, but like, what's the first thing you do when you meet someone and they want to work with you?
The very first step is I want to see what my client, what basic understanding they have of masculine and feminine energies.
Mm,
So how do they refer to feminine energies? How do they refer to masculine energy? What is their beginning point?
mm-hmm.
So it's very important. We have talked about it before the podcast. Actually, you told me that it's not enough to understand these things on an intellectual level,
Yep.
but you still need to hear it first on an intellectual level.
Yep.
So, for example, I have a lot of clients who are not, it goes, a lot of the topics are relationships. A
Mm,
lot of the issues for most men is with women,
mm,
is because women just mirror them, their fears, mirror them, their darkness and the shadows they've not yet faced.
mm,
So I want to see what is their basic understanding of masculine and feminine dynamics.
sure.
And from there, then I go deeper. So first of all, I want to find out, I'm gonna first of all listen, ask a couple of powerful questions,
Yeah.
and mostly I'm able to tell directly if this is, for example, a man who is, and I'm gonna use these abstract terms right now, but you can use actually anything for that. This could be a man right now who's totally lost in his feminine core,
Mm,
which means this is a man lacking decisiveness, lacking
mm,
structure, lacking discipline. I have a client who's all over the place, messaging me a lot of questions always. And what I did with that client, I said, hey, we have to change the way you refer to me. So when you reach out to me, you have to be clear. You have to
mm.
be 100% clear with what you want from me,
Yep.
because you're lacking this clarity. And like you said before, when I say feminine qualities and masculine qualities, we all have these qualities and energies within ourselves.
Yeah.
It's just that men, like you said, tend to have a more masculine core, which means they're more in their logical thinking, they have structure, discipline, they're very decisive. And women express more of the mystical, more of the spiritual realm, which
Mm,
means they surrender, they're open, there's a lot of vulnerability, a lot of softness, a lot of sensitivity, a lot of feeling. And we hold both of these energies within. So
mm,
first of all, I'm going to check is how are these energies balanced in somebody? Because the key is, and that's the key of tantric work, for instance, is to find out, okay, we have the Shiva and Shakti, the feminine and masculine pole inside ourselves. When we learn to balance these two poles, these two energies, then as a man, you would become a grounded, mature, masculine man.
mm. I
And
love
I
that.
can give an insight how that would look like. I mean, we're just talking right in words.
Yeah.
You can express that,
Yep.
a grounded masculine man still goes through insecurities and all kinds of processes. And
Sure.
hey, I'm going through all kinds of adversities. I'm not stepping up and saying I am the grounded man and I'm teaching everybody how it works. I don't want to preach. I tell all my clients, guys, don't project on me. I'm not any better than you.
Mm,
This is just my gift and what I see. But yeah. And
that's,
just an example would be a
yeah.
grounded man would be that you are able to be vulnerable at the same time you're able to push through. You're
Mm,
able to be soft and sensitive and understanding. At the same time, you have your boundaries.
mm,
Boundaries is, by the way, a huge topic which most men are totally, totally, totally missing.
mm,
That's a huge thing. And that's one of the key. I didn't do this in the beginning of
mhm.
where I started coaching men, but now I'm always checking how is their relationship to boundaries.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
important. And yeah, I think you
absolutely.
brought up a really good topic I want to go deeper into because it really goes with the balance of masculine and feminine. What you were sharing is like how a grounded man, how someone who is really living in who they are, living as who they really are, and leading with their masculine energy, but then honoring their feminine energy. Like, tell us a bit more about that because I know people listening and women who are listening, you can flip it. You can
Yeah,
imagine like, okay, what's the
exactly.
opposite of this? Like, how could I be more my feminine and
Yeah.
really like open and receptive, but also have like that masculine really balanced too. So tell us like, what would, I know you started to begin on this, but I want to go deeper. Is like, okay, a grounded man, like what does that person do? Like, how does that person act? Like, give us like one example, like one situation that would exemplify that balanced energy and then explain like the both the feminine and
I love
masculine
I
energy.
love I love the question, brother. I love the
Yeah.
question. So let's use the example. There's a man and a woman right now. They're together for a couple of years already, or it doesn't matter, but they're just together. They're in a relationship, in an intimate relationship,
Hmm.
and the woman is feeling down. Okay, she's coming home and she's in her emotions. There's a lot of quote unquote darkness. I'm just putting a label here right now, which doesn't
Sure.
mean anything, but she's experiencing dark emotions like we all humans experience.
Hmm.
And she's just starting to express that. So she
Mm.
goes to the man and says, I'm not sure if everything is going to work out and you do this and that and I'm angry on you and things are not working out. You didn't throw the trash out and at my work nothing is working out. I'm feeling miserable. I'm unworthy. And let's say it gets really extreme. Like
Mm.
I'm feeling unworthy. I don't know my purpose. I'm depressed.
Mm.
And now I'm going to give a very black and white example, but the absolutely ungrounded man, first of all, is going to react in panic.
Mm.
He's going to be like, whoa, but what's going on? Can I help you? He's going to completely lose, sorry to say, to lose his shit. He's going to completely lose it.
Oh, please feel free to curse. Chris and I
Yeah.
curse all the time, so go for
He's
it.
going to completely lose his shit. He's not going to be able to do anything with that situation.
Mm.
The grounded man on the other side, here's very important. The grounded man is going to listen to the energy and to the energy behind the words.
Mm.
So he's not going to listen to I'm depressed, I'm worthless, and you did this and that. He's not going to step totally in his ego and just express his inner child. He's going to be very, very clear. So he might say, I don't like you expressing yourself in that way to me, but I am fully there as the witness of your emotions. And this goes deeper than just saying these things. You can say
Mhm.
whatever you want. I give you the perfect example. My girlfriend in the past said to me, you say you're always there for me, but when it comes down to being there for me, you're not.
Mm.
And that one hit me deeply because I
Mm.
realized I'm talking myself out of it. You can be a great communicator.
Yeah.
A lot of men are great communicators. They talk very eloquently. They say,
Mhm.
hey, baby, I'm feeling you. I'm understanding you. But what's really necessary is almost a sort of aggression, a sort of warriorhood, a sort of immense strength, like a solid rock in the ocean, that the moment she expresses her emotions, first of all, he's not going to go into a state of panic.
Mm.
Because if he goes into a state of panic and loses his shit, she's not going to feel safe.
Yeah.
So to make this in one sentence, a grounded man is all about understanding the art of making a woman feel safe. Often, a woman is expressing her dark emotions in order to test a man's capacity
Mm,
to make her feel safe.
mm.
Or it might just be her being in a really dark place. It's also possible. Not everything is about testing the man, of course.
Yeah.
But still, in these moments, a grounded man is not gonna try to fix her, because what a lot of men, what I always, it's just like, baby, you have to go to a coach. You
Mm,
have to do this. But women don't want to hear that. In these moments, all they want is for you to be present.
mm-hmm.
And the greatest gift a grounded man can give to a woman is his unwavering presence.
Mm,
It's not his fixing solutions, which is all about the mind.
yeah.
It's about him stepping in the heart, feeling into her. So a man has to develop this masculine strength to be in the storm of her emotions. At the same time, he has to develop his feminine qualities of
Mm,
feeling into her, not validating her emotions and not just denying them, what a
mm-hmm.
lot of men are doing, saying, oh yeah, but you had that yesterday
Yeah.
already. Oh, this again, these emotions. This is the worst thing, because
Mm,
men don't realize how much harm energetically they're doing,
mm,
because women have a very, very strong collective pain body,
mm-hmm.
because men have not done the conscious work
Mm.
for decades and decades. Men have
Centuries, man.
suppressed women centuries.
Yeah.
And now I'm not, and this goes sideways, this goes two ways. Now a lot of men are so afraid to speak with a woman because they feel like
Mm,
they've done a horrible mistake. But this is not what I'm referring to.
yeah.
I'm referring to just understanding from where she's coming from, understanding her pain.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a grounded man, because he uses his masculine energy to be fully there for her, to not run away and run, because that's what a lot of men do. The moment conflict arises in an intimate relationship, they run.
Yeah.
They just run. And
Mm-hmm.
we all, I mean, you and me, we can also refer to this. I'm totally honest here. When my girlfriend goes through strong emotions, I sometimes get the feeling of, I need to get out of here. I
Mm,
need to run. But that's exactly the fire. I call this the fire between man and woman, or man and woman.
yep.
It's all about the energy. It's not
Yep.
about biologically being a man or a woman.
Yep.
This fire, this heat which is created,
Yes.
can go in one way to a complete dark place, or in the other way, it's the fire of alchemy. In these
Yeah.
moments, you can really shape and hone your craft
Mm,
in becoming a grounded and mature man. So to finish this, to
yeah.
wrap this up to what I said before, men are these days having no initiation. So they're not being guided into the deeper and stronger realms of what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
But women are stepping in here, because no, women are
Mm,
not the mentor necessarily, but their energy, their emotions, their everything they experience, and how they react to you, the conflict they bring into the relationship, or also the conflict you bring in the relationship. Her dark emotions are not a problem. They are
mm-hmm.
actually the fire that's going to transform you.
Mm,
So she is the gift. And
yeah.
that's why I always say you have to honor women from the deepest core of your being, because she's the gift that
Yeah.
truly allows you to be really grounded, to be really present, to be really alive, deep breath, and fully in the moment.
Damn. Like that the last 10 minutes there were so many gold nuggets. There's a couple things I want to point out and just like highlight to say them or repeat them, and just to like highlight them, to go deeper into them. Is number one, what you said, in a grounded man, to focus on like who we want to be. And again, grounded masculine, let's go with that, because like you said, like
Yes.
it could be a man and a man, a woman and a woman. There's always going to be, or usually there's one who's more masculine, one who's more feminine. So that masculine aspect, it doesn't deny the feminine. Not only
Never.
doesn't deny the other person, as in like the feminine in her and the other person, but also doesn't deny the feminine in you. I love that you pointed that out. Like the grounded man is that rock in that ocean, and is also open to feeling that the other person's energy, so that they're
Yeah.
accepting that and then being there with them with that. And
Yeah.
there's a great video I saw. It's like a 1 minute clip. It's an ad for something, but it's like a very, very simplified version of everything you just shared. Is like the camera is like on this woman, and this guy is on the couch with her. It's like they're in the couple, and she's like talking about this headache that she has. It's like so like bad. It's like a migraine, and like
Yeah.
you're seeing her from the behind, and then
Yeah.
he's like looking like kind of confused, like, oh yeah, uh-huh. And then the camera like pans over, and you see that the woman has a big nail in the in her forehead. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know where this pain is coming from. And the guy is like, but the nail is right there in your head, like trying to fix the problem. And she's like, you're not listening to me.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I'm in pain.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I love this, man. This is exactly it. This is
Yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah. So like because women know, like they're not stupid. They're smart. They're intelligent. They know what to do.
Yeah.
They can figure things out. But what they want is like
And
that grounded, that feeling, that acceptance.
exactly. And that's the thing. Women don't come to you because they're stupid and don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They come to you with their problems, like you just said, in order to feel your edge, in order to feel how strong and safe you truly are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. A lot of men, for the logical mind, have a direct opinion, a judgment, a label on women. And in that way, you will never experience the true mystery, the true infinity of a woman. And
Beautiful.
in tantric practices, in the essence of tantric teachings, it also goes that way, that when the man is truly creating a safe environment for the woman, he unlocks a door with his key, with his grounded presence. And guys, this is not about explaining this on a logical base or intellectual. The feeling of making a woman feel safe and her blossoming in every possible way, it's just the feeling of being humble, completely aligned with your soul's purpose, deep peace, deep strength and freedom. Without my girlfriend, I wouldn't have half of my strength. Totally honest here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're truly a gift. The woman in our life.
Absolutely, they're a gift. And I call this warrior training. See your relationship as the spiritual practice. See or you're dating with a woman or dating with a man, but especially for men right now, see it as your warrior training. Everything she brings up, we are no longer fighting in battles.
Yeah.
We're no longer proving that we're the alpha man like the gorillas once did it or the chimpanzees do it. We are living in a very modern world with all kind of technology, but these energies are still here and they still need to be balanced no matter where we are.
Yeah.
And as a man, when you see this as warrior training, your whole relationship takes a new level. Because I'm going to use the word fight here right now. I'm not saying fight in a negative sense. I'm saying fight to create more vulnerability in your relationship. A man's purpose is creation. Is a deep sense of he's a creator. So then when you see this as a spiritual practice, a relationship, you set the intention, I want to create. I do this with my clients. I say, okay, what do you want to create in your relationship, or what do you want to create with a woman? And that's a vision. That's a vision manifest.
Yeah.
But you have to become that vision. You have to really start embodying that.
Exactly.
That only works when you can really access this grounded masculine presence.
Yeah. So with that said, I want to hear a bit more about the feminine essence in a man, or in a more masculine core person. Like, how does one really dive deep into in accepting the feminine and honoring it without it being like the forerunner as the thing that drives you? Because I had that challenge in the past. I'm very neutral. I do have a more masculine core. And in the past, I'd been confused. And so my feminine was more present in many places. So like, that's been a challenge for me and balancing that. So like, how do you honor the feminine while also really being grounded and deep in the masculine?
Yeah, I love this question. And to give a very simple answer, it is when you're only in your masculine, you burn yourself out immediately. Because the feminine is about nurturing. For instance, the earth, the fertile earth we're living on, the things we're touching are regarded as feminine.
Mm.
So they're nurturing. The food you eat is nurturing you. It's fueling you. So the feminine is the fuel a man needs in order to be able to fully inhabit his
Mm.
masculine kingdom.
Mm.
And I guess you also asked me, how do I honor,
Yeah.
how do I nurture myself?
Yep.
It's by really taking care of yourself as a man.
Mm.
My girlfriend always says, be sweet to yourself. And I'm gonna say, be gentle, be
Mm.
kind. Take radical responsibility, of course, push through your blockages, go for your dreams, but at the same time, be gentle. Be
Mm.
gentle with these negative thoughts you're having. Be gentle with that you did a mistake here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It's about this balance. And to be really honest, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But because it's not easy, because a lot of people will say right now, but this is impossible. How do I balance this? These are millions of things I'm mentioning right now.
Mm.
Exactly, guys. But that's the key.
Mm.
Because it's almost impossible, or it is impossible, you keep learning, you keep growing. That's
Yeah.
the whole goal. If it would be so easy, all of us would already be fully balanced.
Yep.
But because we have to go so deeply out of our comfort zone, it just provides us this training field.
Mm.
And that just, this perspective, this framework has already helped so many of my clients, because
Mm.
you see the world in a different way. Then
Yeah.
everything becomes a spiritual training ground and practice, and not just running from one success to the other. You really start to really go into that, because that's a lifetime work to ground these two energies,
Mm.
or
That's
to
awesome.
balance them.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And one additional thing to add to that, it's like how to be more in the masculine, because yeah, that's definitely like I'm very clear on how to balance the feminine and really open up to that and like be gentle
Yeah.
with yourself and like nurturing to yourself. But then what about masculine? What are some practices to embody more of the masculine?
So, I mean, there are many, 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 many practices here. Everybody is going to feel deeper certain practices from all
True.
kind of teaching, but this is not about one teaching. This is about molding and bringing, like you mold science and spirituality together.
Yeah.
This is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
For example, catharsis, like really cathartic exercises, like for example, screaming.
Mm.
This is a very, very obvious example.
Mm-hmm.
When a man goes into the wood, goes into nature, is alone, and to scream it completely out, or to go to a fighting class, for instance, and
Mm.
yeah, fight and hit a sandbag, and really letting anger out. So to wrap this up more, to make it more simplistic, in order to access your masculine energy, you have to work on your relationship to anger. How is
Mm.
your anger showing up? So what happens often is, when men are demasculated, feeling disempowered, they are not able to express their anger in a healthy and conscious way. So
Mm.
it comes out in passive aggression.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the CEO that picks on all of his coworkers, that flirts with everybody, just all over the place, not knowing what he truly wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's good. So it sounds like what you're sharing.
And it's
Yeah.
really about, excuse me, it's really about this would be this passive aggression, where the anger is coming out in a shadow way.
Mm.
Anger, but it's a very potent and powerful fire.
Mm-hmm.
So when you express your anger on the sandbag, when you beat down a pillow, when you go for a workout, when you get physical, when you
Mm.
really activate, then, and you express your anger in a conscious way, then you directly access your masculine energy.
That's good. And what I pulled from that also, because like obviously like we don't always have to be in anger and expressing anger in a conscious way. It's like
Yeah.
if we're not angry, it's like, but it's like it sounds like movement, like just like
Yeah.
direction, like
Yes.
exercise. Sometime like I'm imagining, and like just like
Yes.
being more like just there's a goal, there's some
Yes.
goal to accomplish, and like in
Yes.
physical activity, it's very, I can see is very easy
Yeah.
to get into that masculine sense.
Yeah.
That's good.
And it's also about challenging yourself. So
Mm,
if you want to step more into masculine, you have to start challenging yourself.
yeah.
So I give an example here. There are many, many men who are addicted to porn, for
Mm,
instance.
mm-hmm.
So they challenging themselves to experience semen retention and to not watch these things anymore, which I really recommend for everybody.
Mm,
This is a challenge. This is a
yeah.
deep challenge. This is an addiction, a strong addiction many men have. I
Mm-hmm.
work with people like that, and it's not easy to break through that. Really not
Mm,
easy. But that would be a challenge. And
mm-hmm.
this challenge puts you into your masculine. That puts you, it gives you a sense of power back. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a detached, you get in a more detached state and not attached to everything.
Mm,
And another thing is taking action. Like you said, having a
yeah.
goal. Because the moment you take action, you go into a certain direction. That's always very masculine because you have to
Mm, mm-hmm.
decide from myriads, from millions of things. You have to make a decision. You're
Yeah.
decisive, you're clear, and you go for something.
It's awesome.
So to put it in one sentence, if you really want to activate your masculine power, you need to connect with your deep purpose and spend everyday time on working on that purpose and
Perfect.
going for the purpose from your heart, not from the
Yeah.
mind, not
Yeah.
from the thoughts.
Absolutely. You know, our recording of your podcast, we talked about that, the
Yeah,
purpose, and like, yeah,
exactly.
just, it says
Exactly.
masculine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's wrap this up. I want to just ask you like one final question is like, um, where any final thoughts really? Because like there's everything you covered, everything you shared. Like it, for me, answered so many questions from my own, and
Thank you.
I feel like we covered so many different topics that, and obviously we can go so much deeper into all
Of
these different
course.
topics. But yeah, is there anything else that you'd love to share that we may not have covered, or maybe like a final like repeating of something that is most important? Anything in terms of like masculine, feminine energy
Yeah.
that could serve someone listening?
So, what I would give to all of the listeners is don't beat yourself up. What I mean by that is this work is beautiful to balance the masculine, feminine energies, to become aware, to access our masculine potential or our feminine potential. But we're still humans.
Mm,
We are not perfect. We are often not grounded. I have dark thoughts. I feel still unworthiness at times. I have days where I'm not going for my purpose. I'm distracted. I'm being led astray by all kinds of things. I am getting in a sort of not panic state, but when my girlfriend expresses her emotions, I'm not able to communicate properly. She doesn't feel safe. It happens less and less, but it happens.
mm,
So this work is not about giving people more concepts because we have enough concepts in this world
yeah.
already. It's enough of these concepts: spiritual, not spiritual, man, woman. These are all labels, all concepts. You are just the way you are, and when you engage into this work, give your best and let
Mm,
it go. Give your
mm,
best and let it go. Be like a child, just
mm.
innocently, just going with full curiosity, full fire. Be flexible, just
Yeah.
experience this, and just do not take it too seriously, because
Mm,
I took it so damn seriously to be a masculine man that I
mhm,
started to become very rigid,
mhm,
very hard on myself. I started to lose all my feminine aspects. And what happens when you go too much in the masculine? You fall back in the feminine. What
mm,
happens when you go too much in the feminine? You fall back in the masculine.
mhm.
This is the principles of yin and yang. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when you go too much in the extreme. You fall into the other because the counterpart just gets activated. So
Yeah.
I would really say fuck the concepts, fuck the labels, and just experience. Be flexible. Don't have a fixated opinion and mindset about this.
Mm,
Be open and just learn from
yeah.
all kind of men. Don't say this is a grounded man, this is an ungrounded man. Learn from everybody. See
Mm,
people from a place of love, because a grounded man is in his heart. A
mhm.
grounded man is not thinking about how grounded he is. A grounded man is not preaching, look at me, I'm so grounded, and you're all unconscious. A
Mm,
grounded man is just connected
mhm.
to everything, to the vastness and oneness of this universe. So I would say fuck the labels to make it,
Yeah. No,
sum
that's
it up in one
perfect.
sentence.
That is perfect way to end it. Especially like I love the example you gave of just like being like a kid again. Cause like
Yeah,
a kid doesn't have concepts. These just being a kid, just being
yeah,
itself. And yes, like we have these
exactly.
tools, we have these ideas now that maybe would help us more in our lives, but it's just labels. It's just things to try out, experience it yourself, and then just try it. And then if you mess up, who cares? No one's
Who
keeping
cares?
score except for yourself. So stop keeping score.
I loved it. Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is
that
awesome.
would be it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Lorin, thank you so much for sharing your brilliance. I mean,
Thank
the
you.
wisdom you shared was just beautiful. I mean, so many different amazing concepts. Now, not just to have them as concepts, let's practice them. So really appreciate that. And where can someone find you if they want to work with you? Because you said you work with a lot of men. If a man listening to right now, or I don't know if you work with women who are more in their masculine, I don't know. But either way, if anyone wants to find you, where could they find you?
I mean, I have a website that's lorinkrenn.com. You can find me on Instagram as just Lorin Krenn. You can find me on YouTube as Lorin Krenn, and you can find me on I have a podcast as well, the Lorin Krenn podcasts.
Awesome.
Super easy to find. Yeah.
Yes.
Basically
Awesome.
almost on all social medias.
Yeah, and your last name is spelled with 2 N's,
Yes, exactly.
Krenn. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you
And
for pointing
absolutely.
that out.
Yeah, and I'll put like a link to your website in the description, so that someone, because people can see it spelled out, but like everything else, all your other social, it sounds like it's exactly just like how you spelled that.
Yes,
Awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the podcast today, and
It was amazing. It was really cool. Thank you for the opportunity, brother. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And that's it for today. So thanks for tuning in, and we really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as we enjoyed recording it. So any questions, any comments, just connect with us on Instagram. You could always DM us at Kevin Francis Carton
and at Chris J. Carton. And also, if you feel guided to, the one thing we do ask is for you to please rate the podcast and leave us a review. This way we can reach more people and impact more lives with this amazing information. With that, we'll see you on the next episode.